Ever feel like your language learning progress has just, well, stalled?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
You know the feeling. You feel stuck on a plateau.
Exactly. You're hitting the books, you're doing the apps, but you're just stuck. It's incredibly frustrating for you.
It really is. It's that feeling where the effort you put in
Mm.
simply isn't matching the output anymore. And our first instinct is usually to just push harder,
Right.
which honestly just adds stress to the whole mix.
It does. But today we are doing a deep dive into this morning routine guide from Ms. English Learning Studio, and it totally flips that idea on its head.
Mm,
It suggests that instead of stressing out, you should actually prioritize, well, they call it easing into the morning.
I love that phrasing
Yeah.
because it addresses the actual psychology of learning. Like, if you start your day with stress, your brain literally puts up barriers.
It blocks new information.
Exactly. So this guide is really about integrating English naturally, so it just doesn't feel like a chore.
But practically speaking, how do you actually do that? I mean, most of your mornings are probably already packed. Who has the bandwidth to add a whole study session before work?
Well, that is where the core concept comes in. The guide introduces this idea of habit stacking.
Right, habit stacking. You're not carving out some random 30-minute block. You're using a specific formula. It's, after I do a current habit, I will do my new English habit.
Precisely. You're hacking your brain's neural pathways. When you have a strong existing habit, your brain is basically on autopilot.
Yeah.
So by attaching the new English practice directly to that anchor, you just borrow the momentum. You aren't using willpower at all. You're using muscle memory.
The guide actually gives a super specific example of this. After I brew my coffee, I will listen to 5 minutes of an English podcast.
And that's a brilliant example because for most people, brewing coffee is completely non-negotiable.
Right, it's a daily ritual.
Exactly. You're automating the practice by anchoring it to something you will definitely do regardless of how tired you are.
But hold on. 5 minutes. Can you actually learn a language in the time it takes to brew coffee? Because I think a lot of people feel like they need to be sweating over a textbook for an hour to make any real progress.
It sounds totally counterintuitive, right?
Mhm.
But the source argues that intensity is not the goal here. Frequency is. 5 minutes daily actually beats 2 hours on a Sunday.
Because it stops the burnout cycle.
Exactly. It stops burnout before it even starts. It's about keeping the engine running instead of revving it until it overheats once a week.
That makes total sense. So it's consistency over intensity. But surely people mess this up, right? Habits are notoriously hard to build.
They are. And that's where a lot of people do fail with this technique. The main trap is choosing a trigger that's just way too vague.
Like saying, when I wake up.
Right. Because waking up looks different every single day. Maybe you snooze, or maybe you immediately check your phone. The trigger needs to be a very specific action.
Like pushing the button on the coffee maker.
Yeah.
Or putting your toothbrush back in the cup.
Specificity is the absolute secret sauce here.
Okay, so looking at the broader picture, the material makes it pretty clear that this morning protocol is really just the tip of the iceberg.
Yeah, the guide actually admits a vulnerability. This strategy is fantastic for the quiet of the morning, but it doesn't account for the absolute chaos of the rest of the day.
Right.
To really break that learning plateau, they note you'll need to apply this to the afternoon and evening too, which they promise to cover in future guides.
That'll definitely be the real test. It's easy to be zen with your morning coffee, but it's way harder when emails are flying at you at 2 p.m.
Very true.